Did you hear? The body cam footage capturing the moments before and after King Von's tragic death has been released, revealing the chaos right as the bullets started flying. Along with the newly released footage, a viral tweet has been making waves claiming Von made it through 2 surgeries and woke up screaming for his firearm, but he went into shock and passed. He had just 1 more surgery to go. These words are said to come from a close affiliate of O-Block's own FF.
Von made it through 2 surgeries. He got 3 surgeries, so he made it through 2 surgeries. And then after the second surgery, he hopped off the bed and started fighting the nurse and said where his foot at, and he went into shock. So he was making 2 surgeries. How hours later, Taylor knows he fought the nurse. He the one told me that. His mama didn't even know that. How you knowing what's going on inside the hospital? That because she was here at the hospital.
But here's what many might have missed. Rappers had already hinted at the tragedy before it even happened. On November 5th, 2020, King Von and his crew were preparing for what was supposed to be a major night in Atlanta, a celebration, marking the release of his album. It was meant to be a moment of triumph, a turning point in Von's rise to greatness, but no one knew that celebration would become a farewell. Growing up in the gritty, unforgiving streets of O-Block, Von was no stranger to danger. He had enemies, and he knew the risk of being seen in public. That night, his crew didn't take any chances. More than 20 men rolled deep with him, spread across 8 vehicles en route to the club. Even his manager, 100K Track, later revealed the extreme precautions Von took to protect himself. Proof that Von was always aware of the storm brewing around him.
I travel with 1 security that moves with Von, and he traveled with 2 more security. You know what I'm saying? Von traveled in a crew truck, and not only that, his guys are security, man. He traveled with 10 to 15 guys daily. They protect and love Von more than any security will. We're like 8, 10 cars deep, 20, 25 on our
But as the night wore on, something shifted. Von started acting differently, a change in behavior that would ultimately put his life at risk. While the celebration inside the club had gone smoothly, filled with energy and love for his new album, the vibe began to shift once the clock struck 2:30 a.m. Von and his crew began filing out of the venue, the plan clear: head back to their Airbnbs, lay low, and call it a night. But Von had something else in mind. Quietly, he deviated from the plan, setting in motion a chain of events that no one could have predicted.
Everybody's mind leaving the club is that we're going to the hotel and Airbnb. So that's normal routine. Club he went to, the after hours wasn't getting paid for it, and I have no acknowledgement of his team that had no acknowledgement of it. That was the complete Von decision.
While the rest of the crew was heading back to the Airbnb, Von made a sudden call. He told his driver to change course and head to another spot, the Monaco Lounge. Word had spread online that Quando Rondo and his crew were at the venue, and Von wasn't about to let that slide. Fueled by adrenaline and emotion, he decided he wanted to confront them, to check the situation himself. It was a decision made in the heat of the moment, and one that would change everything.
Everybody else that was with us driving to the Airbnb, and Von literally went to the venue by himself. We got a call later from people in the car, like, hey bro, we hit by, matter of fact, I think from the DJ was like, hey bro, we hit by ourselves. Like, where you guys at? And everybody rerouted to that venue.
Unfortunately, the people riding with Von didn't inform the rest of the team about the detour until they had already pulled up to the Monaco Lounge. It wasn't until then that the rest of Von's crew realized something had changed. And, once they got word, they immediately rerouted, speeding toward the new venue to back him up and protect him. According to 100K Track, Von's manager, he could sense something was off that night. Von wasn't his usual self, not the upbeat, charismatic energy everyone was used to. Instead, he was quiet, distant, like something heavy was weighing on him.
And Vaughn wasn't himself. This man is like, I promise you, the best artist I ever moved in my life. For some reason that night, it was off. Like, he stayed in the car for like 35 minutes.
Despite his crew arriving and gearing up to enter the club, Vaughn refused to step out of the truck. He sat there, silent and unmoved, for nearly 30 minutes, as if he were mentally preparing for something no one else could see coming. When he finally agreed to go inside, his team acted fast, clearing out the club to make sure everything was secure. But because of Monaco Lounge's strict policies, they were forced to leave their firearms behind at the door. In that moment, they were exposed, unaware that the night was about to spiral into chaos.
I went to the car he was in. I was like, yo, Vaughn. Went inside the passenger seat. I was like, yo, Vaughn, bro, what's going on? Everybody here, wait, let's go. He was like, all right, let's go. We're telling security, hey, it's time to go in now. Vaughn's ready. You know what I'm saying? We've been here too long. Let's go inside. Check the venue, go inside, check the outside, make sure there's no...
The real issue unfolded in the parking lot. Quando Rondo and his crew happened to be parked in the same lot as Vaughn. Allegedly, they were just trying to get some rest. But one of Vaughn's people spotted Quando and his team and quickly alerted Vaughn to their presence.
Right before we go inside the club, one of his homeboys came to the car and said, hey, so-and-so's here. And Vaughn just jumped up like, oh, come on, let's go.
Almost instantly, King Vaughn jumped out of the truck and made his way toward Quando's vehicle to confront him. Vaughn's team tried to get him to calm down and avoid making a scene, but he wasn't trying to hear it. He stepped right in front of Quando's white SUV and started swinging.
Jumped out the car. By the time Vaughn jumped out the car, I don't even think he knew where so-and-so was. He just jumped out the car. He bumped into so-and-so. As soon as he bumped into so-and-so, started brawling.
With King Vaughn gaining the upper hand in the fight, he managed to bring Quando Rondo to the ground. But things took a deadly turn when Quando's friend, Lil Tim, suddenly emerged from behind the white SUV with a firearm. Without hesitation, he opened fire on Vaughn, hitting him multiple times. Vaughn's manager was also struck in the leg during the chaos. Within seconds of Lil Tim aiming at Vaughn, members of Vaughn's crew pulled their own weapons and fired back, hitting Lil Tim and dropping him just a few feet away. But the situation only spiraled further out of control when off-duty police officers nearby heard the gunfire and rushed to the scene. Instead of de-escalating, the officers ended up shooting at more of Vaughn's crew, adding to the chaos and confusion in the street. Amid the gunfire, King Vaughn lay wounded on the pavement with Quando Rondo right beside him. Some onlookers believed Quando was trying to snatch Vaughn's chains, but according to Vaughn's manager, Vaughn may have actually been holding onto Quando, using him as a shield in a desperate attempt to protect himself from the bullets flying in every direction.
And was he trying to take Vaughn's chain, or? Honest truth, I don't think he really had no jewelry on, and from the people that was a little closer, Vaughn was actually holding onto him, and you ain't even know it. You hear, like, even through getting that strong, like he was literally holding him.
However, the off-duty officers quickly pulled away from the scene, and both crews scattered shortly after. With the area cleared, the desperate race to save King Vaughn's life began. OTF member Moo sprinted into the middle of the street, scooped Vaughn up, and rushed him to their getaway vehicle. Despite being hit 4 times, Vaughn remained conscious in the car. According to the crew riding with him, he stayed calm, kept everyone's spirits up, and kept repeating that he was going to be all right.
When he was in the car, I myself wasn't there. The gentleman that was in the car with him was panicking, and Vaughn was the one that was like, hey, calm down, slow down, chill, I'm going to be good. Into the hospital. And honest truth, we all thought that the way he was carrying himself from that incident, from what I was told from the people in the car, that he would be fine.
King Vaughn was rushed into the operating room, where doctors performed 2 surgeries in an attempt to save his life. Initially, it seemed like he had made it through the worst. Reports later revealed that Vaughn survived both operations. But after waking up, things took a tragic turn. According to new information, Vaughn came to and immediately began asking for his firearm, the very same one Boozy later referenced. Moments later, Vaughn went into shock and passed away, leaving his team and fans devastated.
King Von's situation. There was absolutely no reason for Von to be rolling around with that dude. Like, there was no, especially since he had security. Like, someone should have jumped in. He should have never even. I almost feel like if you have real security.
I feel like they would have been more ready in Chicago.
Sad, man. Sad. I mean, the whole King Von thing is really
that me up,
for everyone right now.
That me up, bro. I like King Von.
The news of King Von's passing was soon released, sending shockwaves through the rap industry. Von had built a reputation as one of Chicago's most fearless and dangerous street figures, someone who seemed untouchable. So to see him lose, his life in a clash with another rapper was something few ever thought possible.
Made national headlines as officials confirmed one of the three people was rapper King Von from Chicago, who was here last night with friends.
Two groups of individuals got into a physical altercation. That physical altercation escalated into an exchange of...
But things with O'Block changed drastically after Von's death. Even something as simple as visiting a mural in his honor became risky. O'Block members had to stay on high alert. What should have been a moment of remembrance was overshadowed by the constant threat of retaliation and street tension.
Check it out. I'll walk over here and see this Von picture. I know it's a lot of options. I'm running y'all see where I'm at. Why is this black truck still right here? Man. Play, watch that truck. Watch that truck right there.
On Quando Rondo's side, Lil Tim survived his injuries while being treated at the same hospital. Though he was initially charged in connection with King Von's death, he went through multiple bond hearings and court appearances. Ultimately, the court ruled he acted in self-defense. As his lawyer later announced, the case against Mr. Leaks, aka Lil Tim, was dismissed before it even reached indictment. But Von's closest friends weren't about to let it slide. In the months that followed, tensions boiled over, and a major hit was carried out on Quando's crew at a gas station, sending a clear and deadly message.
The search is on for three people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the act.
The hit resulted in the death of Quando's close friend, Lil Pav. News outlets captured the emotional moment Quando learned of his friend's passing, his reaction raw and heart-wrenching. In that moment, he felt the same pain and loss that Von's crew had endured just 2 years earlier.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
However, this is the very crime that has landed Dirk in serious legal trouble. Federal authorities believe they have enough evidence to prove that Dirk ordered the hit. A major part of their case comes from incriminating lyrics, like the line, "They like Dirk, he a singer. He won't do something. You can believe whatever you want, I got your folks hit." What makes it even worse is another lyric from his feature on Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy, where Dirk raps, "Look on the news and see your son screaming, 'No, no.'" A line that eerily mirrors Quando Rondo's reaction when he found out about Lil Pav's death. Since then, Quando has tried to step away from the streets, making it clear he wants peace. But over in O-Block, things haven't been the same. Von was more than just a presence. He was a leader. And without him, his crew has felt lost, constantly on edge, living life with eyes in the back of their heads, always watching, always waiting.